I paid almost $100 for this Japanese Spider-Man figure, and today we're gonna decide if it was worth it or not. This guy is an Amazing Yamaguchi, which is an import, hence the price tag. The figure originally costs around 7,800 yen, or about 51 USD plus some change. In America, you'll probably end up paying around $90 for this figure, and I should also mention that this is the original release, not the 2023 one. If we take a look at the box, this is some of the craziest design that you can find on a figure's packaging. We get a comic panel design showcasing different poses and features splattered all over the box, and a cool posterized backdrop on the inside. There's honestly so much attention to detail here, and you could spend all day finding little things scattered throughout the box, such as this little chibi Spider-Man hiding underneath the box's folded opening. Looking at the accessories, one of the first things that I noticed was that instead of including the traditional extra head sculpts, we received an additional 3 pairs of eyes that are interchangeable within Spidey's face. Upon taking out the original eyes, you will stumble upon the stuff of nightmares, but this is very brief as the included sets fit flawlessly. We also see 3 extra sets of hands, a few different webbing options, the stand, and a couple of joint replacements. So let's get into the meat and potatoes already. In hand, this guy feels sturdy as hell. The joints are nearly perfect, the material is durable and rubbery, but sadly the paint is only okay. We have a handful of smudges throughout the figure, which can be a serious eyesore for certain collectors, and the webbing is sculpted and painted rather than one or the other. This isn't my preferred method, as the black paint isn't always consistent with the engraving, leaving behind some pretty spotty areas, and sadly this figure makes no exception here. I don't have much to say about articulation other than that it's near perfection. Almost every part of this figure is movable, and you can pose them in almost any way that you could possibly think of. The hands consist of different variations that go with each piece of webbing. The closed hand is used to hold onto the swinging web, the semi-closed hand connects to the rope web, and the thwip hands coincide with the spraying web. This is a very interesting concept and is surprisingly executed very well. The stand is very similar to the stands that we get with Mafex, with 3 different options to connect the figure to. A standard claw connection, a stick into the back, and a magnetized claw to stick him to the wall. Functionality is great, but there are some design choices that seem a little bit regressive in my opinion, such as the replacement joints. Unless there's some hidden feature that I'm missing here, I don't really see the point in these. They're a little bit counterintuitive, because if there was an issue with the joints breaking, then they should have just used that extra cost to make the joints higher quality. So let's get to the conclusion. Was it worth it? Sadly, the answer is complicated, because a lot of the price that you're paying comes from the price that it costs to import it. And if you bought imported figures before, then you know that this is very common. At its base cost, $50 is honestly an unbeatable number, considering that I almost spent that on the game vs. Spider-Man 2, and that had lackluster accessories and almost half the articulation. So objectively, I would answer yes. After the cost of the figure and shipping, that's all completely up to you. I will say that the figure lives up to the expectations of Mafex and Bandai Spirits, if not higher, and those are priced relatively similar. So if you were in the market for one of those guys, then this one is definitely a competitive option. If flexibility is what you're looking for, then this figure will suit you perfectly. If you're looking for something with a more modernized style and a higher quality paint and sculpt job, then you might want to look at Bandai or Mafex's options. What are some of your guys' favorite Spider-Man figures? Let me know down below and I might feature it in my next review. I do have a handful of Spider-Man related figures coming to the channel, such as the Amazing Yamaguchi Venom and Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows 2-pack. But if there's anything other than those that you would like to see, go ahead and let me know down below. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and as always, stay awesome.